They obviously have to play the Chiefs on the road, and smack dab in the
no
middle.
way.
They also
Hold on.
no way. Yeah. Look at this! What a surprise appearance!
I just survived a plane crash, and now I'm sitting outside where there's 800,000 fucking people waiting for Ubers, Lyfts, and taxis, and there are none.
Oh, and the Cowboys are going to start 1-5.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to start 1-5. I just had to call my dad and wake him up to come pick us up.
Oh my god! Yikes. Nothing like being 52 and having to call your dad to come pick you up.
Right. And right this minute, right now, right? It's my birthday. How about that?
Hey, happy birthday.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That it?
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.
All right. Welcome into a special edition of the Birds vs. Boys podcast. We have wrapped up our draft coverage, but we have one more special show for you in store for the NFL calendar. It is the NFL schedule release day. We are reacting live on YouTube for the first time for us, which makes it even more special. It will be in podcast form later, coming out tomorrow, thanks to our wonderful producer Vince, who is here with me now. Another reason that makes the show special. So I needed one more week out of Kevin. Everyone knows the NFL calendar, how it goes. It goes games, then free agency, then draft and schedule, and you're done for the summer. I needed one more week out of him, and he just couldn't do it. He went on vacation this week. So he is live at the airport. We will have him at some point, and in the podcast version, we will have his reactions to the Cowboys schedule. I guess we'll give it to him. It was for his birthday, even though Vince, like we know from TikTok, birthdays are not a top 3 day here on this podcast.
Not even dude's birthday isn't even top 3.
Not even top 3. Not a valid excuse to be missing the show on schedule release day. Come on, man. So he'll probably be popping in randomly at some point. He's literally boarding an airplane, but didn't want to miss the release of the Cowboys schedule. Now, the thing about it is, Vince and I are about to react to it live, but we know a lot of the games, a ton of leaks today.
Yeah, I mean, I was working, so I couldn't keep up with a lot of it. But I saw, Joe tweeting about Cowboys or Eagles Giants. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for that to be the Eagles' only win this year. Just winning in the Meadowlands, 1-16.
I'll take it though, just to spite them. That's my new goal. They've become such sore loser whiners that I'm okay if that is my only goal this year. If we go 1-17, trust me, when I was filling out my schedule, it was very confusing with the 18 weeks. But if we go 1-17 and just beat the Giants up in the Meadowlands, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was them, because we're never good at the same time.
No.
And I feel like Eagles Cowboys, in my lifetime at least, has been the same way, which is great to say on this podcast. But I feel like it's been Eagles Giants my entire life.
Yeah, and they have 2 Super Bowl victories in our lifetime. So I don't know. I feel like we've dominated them the past decade here. I forget the stats. It's like 22-6 over the last 28. Something remarkable. The Mets thing, I think they just self-destruct on their own. So it's like you can't have a rivalry with the Mets because their biggest rival is themselves. It's a little bit different with the Giants, but yeah, I think this could lead to new rivalries though, with all the stuff that's been going on, which is great and great for our show. I want to touch on one thing before we get into the schedule release. I might predict a few games before it pops out here. For our show, content-wise, Dallas Week 3 Monday Night Football. That's fantastic. Primetime game. We haven't played Monday Night Football in a while. And then last game of the season. So for Birds versus Boys content, you can't really beat this.
Be a real shame if someone let us use their space to do a live stream of that Monday night game.
We have some stuff in the works according to some of the text messages this week for some live streams. So more details on that later. It's going to be a big summer. All right. It is 8:00. We have the official schedule release. Vince, here's what I think I'm going to do. I am looking at a half filled out, actually 2/3 filled out Eagles schedule. I am going to take the last 6 games before they drop this schedule and see if I can predict it. So let me start here. I'm going to fill this out like a Sudoku, so it's not really going to make sense. The games I have left are Carolina, Denver, and Detroit on the road, the Chargers at home, and Washington at home. I'm penciling in Week 15 at Washington because they play home against the Giants at 26 and home against Dallas in the 9th. I don't think they're going to have three divisional games all at home at the end of the season. So we'll pencil in Washington there. Looking around, there's a chunk in the middle that we don't know yet. October 31st, November 7th, and November 14th. One of those has to be the bye week there. And we play at Las Vegas. So you're thinking, and then you have a Thursday night football game on October 17th. I hate early season bye weeks, but it would make sense if they gave us the bye week October 10th and then played a short week. So maybe I'll pencil in the bye week early, which really sucks, but we'll have to go with it. Which means we are down to, let's see here, 4 games total. We're just assuming they played Dallas last game of the season. So that chunk right there in the middle, let's say we've got at Denver, at Detroit, and at Carolina. That might not make sense. I might have to put the bye here. Let's put the bye at October 31st, week 8, and pencil in Carolina at Carolina early in the season there, week 5. And October 31st, I don't think they're going to make you fly west 2 times in a row. So maybe let's do a little verse Washington there. Bye week, week 9. And then that means the 14th, you'd be at Denver.
All right, so do you want to give us – yeah, so read it straight through one more time just to hear it all the way through.
Well, I hate it already. I got to fix it already. I got to fix it. I screwed it up already. All right, so right now I've got a Falcons at Atlanta Falcons, which everybody knows, versus the San Francisco 49ers, at Dallas on Monday Night Football, versus the Kansas City Chiefs, at the Carolina Panthers, versus the Tampa Bay Bucks, which we know, at Las Vegas, which we know, and then I have the home game versus Washington. I then think you can pencil in the I'm leaning bye week 9 or 10. I'm going to go bye week 9 at Denver week 10. Here's where it gets dicey, though. That means I'd have 4 straight away games, which automatically means I'm wrong. Or no, I'm sorry. The Chargers are a home game, so I'm going to go November 21st versus the Saints, November 28th at the Giants, December 5th at the Jets, home December 12th against the Chargers, at Washington on December 19th, week 15. Week 16, we have December 26th is versus the Giants. January 2nd, I'm going to put at Detroit. And then to finish it, we've got Dallas. So we'll see where we come in. Have they released it yet? How close am I? Wow. Okay. Carolina week 5. Detroit week 8. All right. And then against the Chargers. Broncos week 10. Okay. We got that. Week 11 against the Saints. Week 12, New York. Oh, the bye week late in the year. Wow. I love that.
That was my big thing.
That is great. Yes. How great is that?
Especially, I mean, I know this is getting way ahead of myself, but you got 4 divisional games after that. If you're even almost competing and you get a rest before that stretch, I mean, that could be big.
And even look at that. So you have week 12 against the Giants. You go Giants, Jets, bye week, and then 4 divisional games. So 5 out of your last 6 are divisional games, and then 1 game against the Jets. I mean, in terms of favorable schedules, it's again, at the back half, they can do all their damage if they need to.
Especially since we know this team, there's going to be like 7 lower body soft tissue injuries by then. Gives everyone probably 2 weeks to rest because I don't think you need, like, unless it's really that close, like, I feel like just set everyone for the Jets game. Not that I think you're gonna win it, but if you even need the win?
I think they'll need every win they can get to be competitive this year.
I don't know. They might need every loss they can get to.
I was just about to say, or maybe they don't need every win they can get and they can capitalize, have a top 10 pick, and have 3 first-round picks if the Colts do well. So we've got
Spencer Rattler.
Yes, tank for Spencer Rattler. Oh God, I don't think I can do another Oklahoma quarterback, and I don't even think he's that good. That's the problem.
He looks like if someone stopped coloring in Patrick Mahomes. Like if there was like a coloring book version of Patrick Mahomes and they just stopped.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, when you're like doing arts and crafts as a kid and the adult has a coloring book and the kid has the same coloring book. Like Patrick Mahomes is the adult one and the kid colored in Spencer Rattler, but it was the same picture.
That is a fantastic analogy by you. I love that. And also so true in terms of like talent as well.
Yeah.
If you could pull that up one more time, there was one last thing that stuck out to me. I know I made this point before. The bye week. I could be wrong here, but this is a benefit of the 18-week season where I don't believe we had week 14 byes before. If it was a week 14 bye before, that means you only go 15, 16, 17, only 3 games there at the end. So I think actually they are the first team to have a week 14 bye week, and they're the first person to have it with this 18-game schedule.
Cool. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Listen, all the things, like, we are going to be at a serious talent disadvantage, so I will take every advantage we can get, and looking at that back half, I will take it. Do you believe in, like, any of those teams right there? I think Vince is frozen here.
For a while?
He froze for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Super cool to be doing that the night we're live.
Of course. Yeah, it happens. But no, I think that back half of the schedule, pretty favorable. I don't think it's that, even for a seriously disadvantaged team like the Eagles, you know, do you believe in the Broncos? Probably not. The Saints, even the Saints, like, who knows? Because quarterback-wise, I don't know what you do. So, I don't know. That's a pretty solid schedule in the back half.
All right, leave it to the Cowboys to tweet out the worst schedule graphic of all time. It's like Penn State tweeted this.
I love the Penn State graphics. It's just giant font. Oh, that is terrible.
Hold on, look. Didn't put them in order.
Oh, my God. Not only did they do that, it says 2021 schedule. For people who are not watching live on YouTube and listening to the podcast version, not only are the games not in order, you can barely see the games. It just says 2021 schedule in gigantic font. And then in just like almost as like a subtitle, they put the games themselves. That is insane.
And then, arrange them by home and away, have the date there, but who knows, like, who's following dates?
Yeah, like, just put week 1 or 2 or 3.
All right, shout out to this guy right here. Right? Oh, went away.
Immediately, someone had to reply in the comments and be like, this is what the schedule actually looks like, because
right here,
these idiots, yeah.
Shout out to this guy.
At Bucks, they go at Chargers week 2, week 3, like we talked about, week 4 versus Panthers, Giants, at the Patriots, at Vikings versus Broncos versus Falcons, at Kansas City week 11. We are going to be having Kevin come on later in the show for the people who are listening to the podcast version and reacting to the show. What we're going to do is predict what Kevin is going to say. I'd like to start my predictions by him complaining about the Kansas City game on the road and just penciling that in as a loss.
Yeah, and also the fact that they're at Kansas City, home against the Raiders, and away against the Saints, football teams, and Giants.
Good. Finally, the Cowboys need to get screwed over by their schedule. I'm so sick and tired. They never have a short week. If they do, it's because they play at Thanksgiving at home. It's ridiculous. They need to get screwed over by the schedule. They deserve this.
They could lose all 3 of these games right here. And then these 2 are a toss-up.
And we were high on the Cardinals all year. We think they got better. That's their Week 17 matchup.
Yeah.
So
I want to run through this. I just want to give my prediction, like my knee-jerk reaction to this schedule.
Okay.
Loss. That Chargers game might be weird. That game could be 51-50. Let's call it a loss. Panthers, give them a win. Win. Loss.
Say the opponents for the people listening.
Yeah, true, because not everyone's watching. All right, so Panthers, what did I say the first time?
You gave them a win.
Win. Panthers win. Giants loss. Patriots loss. Vikings win. Broncos win. Falcons loss. Can't do it 2 years in a row. Kansas City loss. Raiders loss. Saints loss. Football team. I think they split, so this one doesn't really matter. Either one or the other. Lost the Giants. Football team split. Lost to the Cardinals, and then of course they beat the Eagles in Week 18.
There you go. I know Kevin will have either talked himself into going 17-0 or going 0-17. I don't know which one is coming, but one of the two is coming.
Yeah, he's probably. I mean, he'll tell us what week Zeke's going to get hurt. He'll tell us which week Micah Parsons is going to get suspended.
All of it is coming. I would go. I don't know. When does Tony Pollard take over for Zeke? Probably week 4 against the Panthers. Yeah, training camp. Week 4 against the Panthers if they start 0-2 or 1-2 and they lose at home on national TV to the Eagles. So that's interesting. I thought in terms of content, though, just looking at that schedule is really good for this podcast. We talked about it, one, because we're playing on each other on Monday Night Football. We're playing the last week of the season. Hopefully that's meaningful. Maybe it decides the division. To start the season, the Cowboys are the opening ceremony game on Thursday Night Football, and the Eagles play the Atlanta Falcons, who we've talked about ad nauseum about how much we hate them. So, like, if you could choose like an opponent who's not the Cowboys to play Week 1, you got to probably go Falcons. So I think this worked out very well for all of us.
I mean, I can't wait for a 15-12 opening week
between the Eagles and the Falcons.
Yeah.
Could
it be anything else?
No, it's never been done before. Judging by past history, it should be around like 15-10, 15-12. Now, a lot has changed. Both of these defenses are horrendous now. So it should be like 35-30 instead of 15-10. But we'll see. I'm very excited for that game to start the season.
I do like the real quick about the Cowboys schedule. I like that it's more difficult than the Eagles because I feel like the Cowboys on paper may be a little bit better than the Eagles. So that kind of evens it out. So podcast-wise, keeps it the content right here in the middle.
Yeah, you don't want them to be 8-2 going into Week 11, and the Eagles are sitting there at 2-8, and you're like, well, okay, I guess I'm just scouting draft talent here, and he's hoping for a Super Bowl. I think that would be not great for podcast content. All right, so what else do you think content-wise, or at least schedule-wise for the Eagles? Let's talk about some games that stick out just based off the schedule. I don't want to go wins, losses. I'm talking about what looks fun. What looks like a fun game?
Let's pull it back up. This Eagles schedule tweet that actually looks like a schedule. There it is. Nice big blocks. You can read everything nice. Do you want me to share it or you got it up?
I can take it here. I can grab it on my phone.
So Week 1 Falcons, always a fun one. Or you could argue it's not fun.
It'll be chaotic. I don't know if it'll be fun.
Lions, I'm looking forward to. I don't know exactly why. I just am.
You're a big Lions guy. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm a Lions guy. I like their uniforms. Like Eminem. I don't know.
Eminem, 8 Mile, great movie. I wouldn't root for the Lions after it, but yeah.
I have a Lions t-shirt with a backwards E on it.
You're literally wearing Lions colors right now.
I am.
Your hoodie matches your hat, and they both are Lions colors.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have to turn into Birds versus Boys versus Lions?
I think it's just because I think like the blue just looks good with my eyes. So I always like those Lions uniforms. Those all blue color rush. Speaking of good jerseys, Week 9 Chargers. I think that could be a fun game because the Chargers never are boring. They may not be good, but they're never boring.
They're another team. They are Falcons West, where they could be either up 21 or down 21, and it doesn't matter. They could still win or lose the game. Looking from a strategic standpoint real quick, because you brought up the Lions and the Chargers, that 4-week stretch where they go Raiders, Lions, Chargers, Broncos, that makes or breaks your season. Are you contenders or pretenders? Because those are all 4 teams that are iffy. And listen, I know people have been saying all day, oh, the schedules don't matter because, does it ever turn out like it's supposed to? Well, yeah, I had a pretty good idea of like who's going to be tough on the Eagles schedule the past few years, and it turned out right. Like when they played a 3-game stretch where it went Seahawks, Saints, Packers, it turned out all 3 of those teams were good, and it was a difficult stretch. Or like 2 years ago, they played 3 straight road games against the Cowboys, Vikings, and somebody else, and it was who else was it? And the Bills, and it was really tough. So yeah, kind of turns out the way it does. Will we ever understand the team? No, but the schedule, yes.
So the Eagles are not playing a single road game against a team that was over 500 last year. I don't know if we said that yet.
No, great stat. Good pull by you.
So, I mean, I don't think any of these teams got marginally better. The Panthers may have. But other than them, I don't.
You could argue the Chargers. You could argue the Chargers just based off
the
fact
home.
That. Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I keep thinking that we're going to LA because that game is still in my brain of when we took over that soccer stadium that the Chargers were playing in back in 2017. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
like what are the Lions? I mean, the Lions got Jared Goff, but they just basically traded for the same quarterback. I mean, Penei Sewell is not going to make your season.
Not overnight, no. And they don't really have any wide receiver talent either. Another team, the Raiders, like how many times do we have to watch the same story with them? Like, is this the breakout year? What has changed that I should believe that this is a breakout season for the Raiders? We do this. I feel like we've done this 18 times, even though John Gruden's only been the coach for 4 years.
Has Nelson Aguilar made his return to Philly yet?
He has not, but he's with the Patriots now, so he will not again.
I know. It's a bummer.
And a lot of the
Broncos aren't better.
No.
Patrick Surtain's not going to make your team better.
No. They'll be better because they'll be healthier, but even at full health, how good are they? Like, are they competing with the Chiefs? No.
Every time I think of the Broncos, I just think of that game in 2017. We just blew the doors off.
I remember that week, like the Philly pessimist in you says, okay, there's no way it's going to be this easy, right? Like in your brain, you start going up, you try to find all these reasons that things can go wrong. What's going to go wrong? How could we lose this game? Where do they have the advantage that's going to plague us? And that whole week, I just could not come up with anything. I was like, there's just nothing there that the Broncos are a better team in any aspect than we are. And I believe we won that game 51-14 or something.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Was that the game that started with like a LeGarrette Blount fumble? No, it was the Bears game.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. The Broncos game, we went right down the field, scored, nice little read option pass play to Alshon Jeffrey for the score. I think that was Jay Ajayi's first game. He went off, or pretty close to it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first game. Yeah, fantastic. I think we wore black jerseys at 1 o'clock against the Broncos for some reason. Who cares? Beat the hell out of them. That was a great time.
Got to be fast.
So the Broncos on the road are a different story. The altitude, I know it's like a kind of faux excuse, but it's also kind of real. Like, it's not the easiest stadium to play in.
You gonna try to cancel Denver sports?
I've been trying to cancel the Nikola Jokic MVP race for about 3 months now to no avail. So I don't think I can tackle all of Denver sports. I can't even tackle one player. But I mean, it would be tougher than a home game, I guess is what I could say. But I guess you could make that case every single game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the altitude, me just being nervous that everyone's going to get hurt. Because that's right around that time of the season where people just start dropping like flies.
Smack dab in the middle.
That's a big cramp game.
It's when that weather turns in November, the joints start to get a little rough.
Well, it's going to be even worse because you're going from – I guess you got Detroit in October, so maybe you're a little acclimated, but it's not going to be as cold here. It's going to be in Denver. So you playing the Chargers at home and then flying straight to Denver, it's going to be maybe 20, 30 degrees colder, so it's going to get cold quick.
And in reality, it's the only – I guess the back half you're playing cold games, but you're really – from week 6 to week 11, you can't really complain too much because you go Tampa at home, Las Vegas, which will be hot, Detroit's inside, Los Angeles at home, then Denver, like we talked about, and then home against the Saints. So you can't complain too much weather-wise. I really have no complaints looking at this. If we're looking at fun games, I think the obvious one is Week 7, October 24th against the Raiders. This is a classic case of unstoppable force meets a movable object.
No, it's a movable object meets a movable object, and they're both
yes. Well, both teams. I'm talking about Eagles fans going to the city of Las Vegas will just be the most chaotic scene involving a football stadium since Bane walked in and blew up the stadium at the fake Heinz Field in Dark Knight Rises.
And they should be fully open by then too. So.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And they got that new club in the end zone.
This is the first year for fans at SoFi Stadium. I know they're kicking it off with Monday Night Football. This would be like their 4th home game there. That is going to be absolute disaster, absolute chaos. If I'm circling most fun game, absolutely that one.
My biggest what the hell is going to happen game, I think, is week 2, San Francisco.
Yes.
Because we don't know who their starting quarterback is. Like, we don't know anything about them, really.
Yeah, it's a team that was in the –
I'm more interested in that game just to see what San Francisco looks like than I am about like Eagles football.
Yeah. And it's an early season game where you kind of start to get an idea of who is good. Where you're like, all right, are these guys pretenders? You know, like I don't know how to describe it, but just them being at full health made it to a Super Bowl. So like, are you getting a team that plays like that who went to a Super Bowl 2 years ago? Or are you getting more of the version last year that was just injury riddled, didn't look right the entire year? And like you mentioned, we don't even know who's playing quarterback. So there's a lot to learn about yourself playing a team like that.
True. You could be thinking you're seeing Jimmy Garoppolo week 2 and you end up seeing him week 10, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, if you're the Broncos, that's not a bad deal.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know why they believe in Drew Lock a lot.
He's tall. He's white. That's it.
So he's met both of the accomplishments that you need to be a Denver Broncos quarterback.
What's stopping him?
$30 million in salary, I guess, is probably the only thing that I can think of that Denver doesn't want to eat. Which who can blame them? So. Just
who'd
one more
look. A giant contract quarterback that hasn't been performing as well as everyone thought he would.
Yeah.
What kind of idiot would do that?
Who would do that?
That seems almost impossible.
That seems like a really dumb move.
You would have to have some sort of a genius GM to trade some sort of other idiot's GM's contract out of there.
Yeah. Well, if only you had a salary cap wizard, you probably wouldn't end up in that position, huh?
Feels like you shouldn't have.
Feels like, probably not a great ideal position to be in. Maybe before we get out of here, let's pull up the Colts schedule, because as much as people hate Carson Wentz, you are going to have to root for him because he needs to play 75% or they need to make the playoffs. So you better buy a blue number 2 jersey. One last quick thing on the Eagles schedule, no long road trips. They don't have a London game. You see a lot of alternating between home, away, home, away. In fact, through the first 6 weeks, it alternates that way. And then you go Raiders, Detroit away, which is nothing too crazy. and then 3 of the last 4 are at home. I think this is the most favorable schedule they've had in quite some time. That makes sense, given that when you're in last place, you play a last place schedule. We've been in first place playing first place schedules, and luck of the draws had it. Even when we were in second place and stuff like that, we were playing the toughest divisions. So they could be bad and still make some noise given the schedule.
My biggest fear is we rip off a few wins and everyone's like, oh my God, this team's great. Maybe you do okay and that maybe you win the division, get bounced in the first round because they're obviously still going to be bad. And then next year we get a tough schedule and they're bad. That's my biggest fear. Everyone's going to be like, the Eagles are back, Super Bowl 2022. And then they're terrible next year. So this is a public service announcement to all of Philadelphia. This is a bad football team. Don't be tricked by the easy schedule. It's a bad football team. Don't be surprised when they lose some close games this year. It's a bad football team. And just remember, they're not good at football. So here's the Colts schedule.
Thank you. That was a perfect end to the Eagles recap. Thank you. All right, Colts schedule. Hey, another graphic that actually kind of makes sense. The Eagles one is still the best one that I've seen.
Yeah, it was nice, like a calendar would look, because, it's a schedule.
Yes. So are these early? Yeah, September 12th. Yep. So they have the date. They have who they're playing. And, I like this a little bit better.
Yeah.
So they don't have an easy schedule, it looks like. I'm seeing here they start with – what do you mean?
Week 14 bye.
Week 14 bye. Wow. All right. So this must be a popular trend here. I'm glad we caught that.
2 teams get a bye each bye week, right? Or I don't know how it even works now with the extra week.
I was about to say with the extra week, usually it kind of depends. Usually it's between 3, 4, and 5 teams. I'm assuming probably 3 teams a week. So if anyone else is watching live on YouTube and your team has the week 14 bye, please comment and we'll see. So their schedule, that's kind of tough. I'm not going to lie, because you're going Seahawks, Rams to start. Those are 2 pretty good teams, we believe. I don't know. And then you go with a division rival, the Titans. So 3 straight weeks, that's really tough to start. I don't know.
That's tough schedule. I mean, at least you don't have to worry about a running game. At least you don't have to worry about a running game with the Titans. But I don't know. It's a tough team.
Yeah, at least they don't have any good running backs that you need to know about.
That's a tough game to have after the 2 games before it. Like if it was just mixed into the schedule, like if it was after or I'm trying to find a better spot for that game to be. After Jets Jags, it'd be fine.
So they've got, looking at the beginning, they've got Seahawks, Rams, Titans, all playoff teams. Then you have the Ravens, another playoff team. And I don't know. I mean, it gets easier in the middle. The AFC South is never the hardest division, but
I mean, then you got Bills, Bucks.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, looking at that back half, it gets hard again. We don't know how good the Patriots will be. Sheesh. I guess the saving grace is Cardinals. I mean, you go Raiders, Jaguars to end it, which helps.
Yeah. I mean, they could easily start 0-3. 0-4 isn't insane either.
0-5 before they play.
Yeah, true. Texans. If you're gonna go 0-4, you might as well look at 0-5 because you got the Ravens right there.
You got the Ravens right there. I think coming out of that, they probably hope they're 3-2.
Yeah, I probably hope they're 2-3.
I will say, at least they're versus Seattle and versus LA to start. So you're playing these West Coast teams, but you're playing them at home to start the season. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't think I'd want to start my season at Seattle. First game with a crowd back there probably would go very poorly.
They're going to be the 13s, not the 12s.
The 13s, yeah. They're going to be ratcheted up first game back. Would not want to be that team that has to play there. We'll have to see who that team is that has to face them week 2 at home. Looking at the rest of it, though, then they go 3 straight road games. I don't know. This is not an easy schedule. I don't expect the Texans to be good. Your division, you got Texans and Jaguars twice. So if you're doing your job well, you should have 4 wins right there, which I guess is your saving grace. And you hope you split with the Titans, and then all of a sudden you're 5-1 in the division. So at least you have that at your disposal, is that you're in the weakest division. Looking outside of it, though, you're probably playing the toughest NFC division. And then you also, wow, even though you're playing the toughest NFC division, then the other NFC team you get for like that 18th team is the defending champion Super Bowl winners, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That looks bad. Not who I would want to play. I love how we got the Jets. Like, they gave us the worst team. The Colts, they're like, here's Tom Brady. Enjoy.
The rivalry is back on. If they do start 0-5 right here, they can easily go 5-5. Rip off another 5 wins in a row, and everyone's like, "Are the Colts back?" And they get blown out by Buffalo.
Yeah, at Buffalo, November 21st. That feels like a loss. That feels like a stretch where you're like, "Are the Colts good or not?" Because they go Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Texans. So
the line
2 games
for
there
this
that you
game
should win.
is going to get so messed up because they're going to win 5 in a row, and the line for this game is going to be like -3, and everyone's going to lose their money because all these idiots are going to start taking the they'll be like, Colts are hot, team of destiny, and then Buffalo's going to win by 100.
Probably, especially up there in November. Not going to be fun. Not going to be a great time. So that's the Colts schedule. We'll have to check with them all year. And all right,
Literally have
we
to.
have it. Yeah, literally have to for the sake of our first round pick. Anything else you see with the schedule wise? I think we were going to predict things that Kevin was going to say when he gets on. Aside from that, I don't really have too much.
I've been peeking at the group chat, so I know things Kevin's going to say when he gets on. So I feel like that won't be great content.
That's all right. I think he has – I'm not going to look, but I know he does this thing. He likes to be negative, and I think it's reverse psychology. So it's reasonable to expect that they would lose to Tampa Bay. Fine. The Chargers, Cowboys, like those, or Chargers, Eagles, those are the 2 games that are like flip of the coin. I could definitely see him being like, yep, we're 0-3. Like, without a doubt, thinks that they're going 0-3. You're laughing. Is that what he said?
We'll have to see what he says.
Okay. We're going to bring him on. So, first half of the podcast version was live on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who tuned in on YouTube. And for everyone listening, we have a back half here with Kevin getting off the plane, reacting raw to the Cowboys schedule. He's seen it, but he hasn't had time to analyze it and everything like that. So he'll go and break down the games the same way we did with the Eagles. So we'll be back on with that and our TikTok tonight. And thank you to everyone who's been following on TikTok. We hit 100,000 likes, and we're at what? Over 1,600 followers?
Almost 1,700.
Almost 1,700. So by the time you watch those TikToks, we'll probably be over 1,700. Our TikToks tonight, we're going to be doing a full dive into all the schedules. Top 5 toughest schedules going into the year. We'll see if the Colts pop up. So, Vince, anything else on the schedule extravaganza?
I don't think so. I think we hit everything.
Great. I love this day. I love schedule release day. It's one of the best days of the year. I wish there was – I like the leaks, but I could do with a little bit less just to build up some suspense. You know, if they leaked 32 of the 64 teams in March Madness, I don't think we'd care as much about the selection Sunday. So if they could fix that and get that more contained, that'd be great. But aside from that, love the Eagles schedule. Love the way it played out. Love that we've got 18 weeks of football, but it's not my body on the line, so I shouldn't be too excited about that. All in all, another fantastic job. And that's it for the YouTube live show, and we'll be back with the second half with Kevin reacting to the Cowboys schedule. All right, welcome back. Thank you to everybody who followed along with the first YouTube live stream as we reacted live to the schedule reveal. We know the schedules now. We've had some time to digest, look at our schedules, look around the league at other schedules. It's Vince and I again. Kevin, fucking vacation guy. Of course, not only does he go on a vacation, but
apparently his pilot is Denzel Washington from Flight, and they didn't make it. So,
or Samuel L. Jackson is on the plane protecting a witness in witness protection, and the mob found out and loaded a bunch of snakes on the plane. But yeah, so that happens. Sometimes you get on a plane and the plane doesn't actually land and you have to make an emergency landing. So it's not the most convenient way to spend a day.
But before his plane tragically crashed on a desert island with a smoke monster or whatever, you predicted that he was going to have a take that was very pessimistic. And we got a text from him right before, I'm assuming it was right before takeoff, and I didn't want to tell you about it until just now. This is from him, straight from his fingertips. Hot take alert: Dallas will be 1-5 heading into the Vikings game. To which Eddie responded 3-2.
Wow.
So you were right.
So
he's doing that thing where he's like, "Oh, woe is us. We're going to be so bad, and then they're going to start off hot and probably be good, probably win the division."
Woe is me. My team's going to start 1-5. My pilot doesn't know how to land a plane. I'm stuck floating around in the air. Woe is me. Yeah, it's reverse. Like, it's one of the reverse psychology things where now they're going to be 5-1.
And then he's going to be all like, oh, they're good now, but you just wait. They're going to be bad at some point. And then it's going to be the NFC Championship game. And he's going to be like, no, they can't win this. And then it's going to keep going.
And then they do. Yeah. Honestly, though, I respect the strategy to keep expectations low. I think if you're single, probably handle your dating life like that. If you just keep expectations low for everybody, then whoever you end up with, they'll be impressed when when you're slightly better than the lowest of low expectations. Might be a good strategy to employ. Yeah,
I've been saying forever, optimism is Philly fans' worst enemy, and I guess Dallas, them too.
So you're saying when I got really excited looking at the schedule because it looked easy, that probably is going to backfire almost immediately.
Yeah, probably almost, if not immediately.
Like week 1-ish against the Falcons?
Like first quarter?
First quarter? Yeah. Well, honestly, if the Falcons have a lead in the first quarter, I might actually feel comfortable because it means only one thing when it comes to them. All right, so let's put a bow on this. What we wanted to do is take a larger view, not just the Eagles or Cowboys schedule. Let's take a look at the NFL schedules. So what we wanted to do for our TikTok tonight, in honor of the NFL schedule release, top 5 toughest schedules for 2021.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have our normal triangle, but so I don't even know how this works.
I know. We're all helter-skelter without the triangle. I think I'll go first because we like to save your random thoughts for the very end. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So I'll start here. I'm going to go at 5. I have the Titans. So they start with Cardinals, Seahawks, Colts. That's a tough stretch. And then in the middle, they have Chiefs, Colts, Rams, Saints. That doesn't seem that fun.
They also have to face Carson Wentz twice in 1 year, so that can't be great.
Yes. I need that to be 2 losses for the sake of my first-round draft pick.
Number 5, I have the Steelers. This is just, being in the AFC North is just tough. They also have the Packers. They have the Ravens. I think they have the Chiefs. It's just not a great schedule for them. And also their quarterback's 75, and he breaks every bone in his body every time he tries to throw the ball. So it's just a legit tough schedule for them.
Mm-hmm. Fair. All right. At 4, I have the Raiders. If you look at their away games, they get the Steelers and Browns on the road in the AFC North. They obviously have to play the Chiefs on the road. And smack dab in the middle,
way.
They also –
Hold on.
No way. Yeah. Look at this. What a surprise appearance.
I just survived a plane crash, and now I'm sitting outside where there's 800,000 fucking people waiting for Ubers, Lyfts, and taxis, and there are none.
Oh, and the Cowboys are going to start 1-5.
Yeah, and the Cowboys start 1-5. I just had to call my dad and wake him up to come pick us up.
Oh my god! Nothing like being 52 and having to call your dad to come pick you up.
And right this minute, right now, right? It's my birthday. How about that?
Hey,
happy
birthday!
I think
You made it off
What
the
are
Smoke
you?
Monster Island, and you got a ride.
Hey, do you get a Medicaid card? Like, does that come in the mail a few weeks later?
No, it's Medicare. Medicaid is for people. I'm not poor. I'm just old. Medicare.
Whatever.
Also, AARP.
AARP.
AARP is Medicare for you young fucks who have no idea. But yeah, I got upgraded to first class thanks to the wife. Birthday present. I had a couple bourbons on the plane. Nice turkey sandwich. Reclined my feet back. Watched a great movie. Can't complain. Cowboys, not so much. 1-5 easily. I mean, starting in Tampa, L. Going to the Chargers, L. At home Monday night against the Eagles, very well could be an L. They're going to lose in New England. They're going to lose in Kansas City. This is going to be a very, very long season. And as I tweeted earlier, Kellen Moore or Dan Quinn will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2022. Mike McCarthy will not make it to next year.
I love how you called the opening game, and ever since then you have been on a string and just an absolute tear of predictions.
I think we lost him. Oh, there he is.
He's back. Oh,
Man, what a nightmare this guy
That was Kevin's analysis.
For him and Mrs. Kevin's wife's sake, I think that's going to be a night for Kevin, and we can get back into our TikTok.
I just the combination of him having a birthday and also like texting us, be like, they couldn't land the plane.
Here, let's have him sign out. You want to sign it out for the people?
Yeah, my dad called, interrupted. So, Aidan, I have been on here, called that months ago. You attacked me on that and was like, I don't think they want to waste the ratings. My buddy Matt, another big Cowboys fan, he goes, no chance Fox lets that happen. It's happening. No matter who won the Super Bowl, the Cowboys were playing them on the road. We just knew that. That was happening. It was easy. Hold on, I got to put my mask on. I'm going inside. Even though I'm in Florida, there's no rules. COVID doesn't exist here. My wife's going to go to the bathroom. Okay. So, Micah Parsons.
That's your show intro.
What else? What do I need to do? The Cowboys are going to win. They have 17 games this year. They're going to win 4.
This guy.
4? I think they're going to go 4-13.
Dude, they have Boss Man Fat, a rapper, and Trayvon Diggs as their 2 cornerbacks. I think Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Mike Evans each might have 100 yards and a touchdown in the first game. Each.
I'm looking at the schedule. Again, just the worst scheduled graphic that I've ever seen.
Can you run me through the schedule? Because I looked at it real quick, but then my plane almost crashed. So I kind of forgot.
I can try, but your graphic department is the worst that's ever occurred. So I can't do this. Vince, what am I supposed to do with this? It's home and away, and they're not in any order.
Just go on the Google. Go on the Google.
I know. So you go Bucks, Chargers, Eagles,
50-50.
Panthers.
Leaning towards Panthers, 70-30. Okay. So we got 4 L's and a question mark.
Patriots.
Big old L.
Giants.
A win.
The Vikings.
Ooh, that is a Monday night game, Sunday night game.
I was about to say, real quick, this is prime time, so I'll answer for you. They will be winning that game because it's Kirk Cousins in prime time. So that goes without saying that's a win.
Yep.
And then Broncos.
Aaron Rodgers or no?
Yeah, I was about to say, when predicting schedules, that's that might be
Aaron
tough.
Rodgers lost. No Aaron Rodgers win.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Loss.
Chiefs.
Move on.
Falcons.
Kyle Pitts may have 345 yards against him. Move on.
Saints.
They can beat Taysom Hill or the other guy.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that guy.
The other guy. That's pretty much, pretty spot on. Thanksgiving, they have the Raiders.
Oh, that's an L. They suck on Thanksgiving.
How about 2 games against the Washington football team?
2 L's.
Okay. Giants again.
Win again.
Cardinals.
Loss.
Cap it off with the Eagles.
Yeah, loss. So this is going to be we're picking in the top 5.
Okay.
And it all honestly, you know me, I'm pessimistic. I'd rather be pessimistic and then be pleasantly surprised. But I think it really depends on the beginning of the season and how quickly Dak gets healthy and gets rid of the rust. And I think Tyron Smith's going to get hurt in training camp. Like he's not even. Then he's going to retire. This offensive line they didn't take Slater. They're going to stink. The defense is just not going to be good yet. So I just see a free fall. I really do, and I'm scared. And I don't know where I am in the airport, and that makes me scared.
Well, it'd be your second free fall of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, we were coming down. We were like 300 feet. I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden I was like, and I was like, that did not feel good. All right, we're gonna figure out how to get home. Love you both. Thank you for having me on. Hold on, I'm gonna take my mask off. I'm in Florida, no rules. Fully vaxxed. So yeah. Oh, it's so quiet up here. Peaceful. This is the place to be. My dad's smart. He goes, go upstairs. I'll pick you upstairs. Okay. Yeah. All right, I got to tell them where we are, guys. Love you. Can't wait for the TikTok. What are we doing on TikTok?
Top 5 toughest schedules.
Oh, Cowboys, and Cowboys.
That's 4. All right.
And Saints. I don't know. I haven't looked at all the other schedules. Who do you think has the toughest? Because I don't even know.
We can't disclose. We didn't get there yet.
Text me, okay? Love you both.
You'll see. All right. Thank you for coming on.
All right, buddy.
Glad you're alive. Happy birthday.
I'm going to drink lots of stateside vodka down here in Florida, guys. Talk to you.
There you go.
Also. Love you. Bye.
Got to get the ad in. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Fantastic. I don't think
he's
that
still
could
in
have
there. You
gone
can
any
hear
better.
me.
I think that was as good as it could have gone. I think that was even better than us sitting down to do this.
Yeah, I think so. He's still in here. I think he can hear us.
Hello. All right.
I don't even remember where we were.
In the middle of the TikTok. Should we just do the TikTok again?
Nah, let's keep going. It's all power of editing. You were on number 4.
Okay. Did I say it?
Don't know. Start over with 4.
Okay. Do you want me to lead this back in?
Nah, it's fine. I'm not cutting this. We're still recording.
All right. Let's get right back into the TikToks. Let's have the most just unorganic show of all time. I think it's okay.
Could it get worse?
No. Well, it could have. That plane could have actually not landed.
True.
That would have kind of sucked.
On an escalator.
That would have been not ideal. All right. So
You had who at 5?
I had the Titans at 5.
I had Steelers at 5, and then you're on 4.
The Steelers at 5. Okay, gotcha. All right. So at 4, I have the Raiders. I was looking at their away schedule. They have Steelers, Browns away. They also obviously have the Chiefs away. And then right there in the middle, they've got Chargers, Cowboys, Colts away. So I think away schedule-wise, not fun.
No, not fun. Not like the Eagles that have all losing teams on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I have the Texans. Again, just another tough schedule. Got to play Carson Wentz twice. Got to play the Titans twice. And also they're just the Texans, so that makes everything worse.
Yeah, they have to play 17 NFL teams. All right. At 3, I have the Ravens. They've got a stretch there. Chiefs, Browns, Packers, Steelers. So Best of luck.
All right, number 3, I have the Eagles because their schedule is just too easy. That makes it difficult for them. I think it's going to backfire how easy the schedule is. They're either going to lose and look worse or they'll win. People won't realize how bad they are. So easy schedule, not great for the Eagles.
Yeah, so easy schedule actually makes it a tough schedule in Philadelphia. Yeah, makes sense. All right, at 2, I have the Seahawks. In their first 7 weeks, they play 6 teams that had a winning record last year. Could get off to a bumpy start with an unhappy Russell Wilson.
And number 2, I have the Patriots. They got to get smoked by Tom Brady, and I don't know if they'll ever recover. So that just makes the rest of their schedule terrible, no matter what it looks like. After getting smoked by Tom, it's going to be all downhill from there.
I was about to say week 4 and then all downhill.
They may never recover.
Never financially recover from this. At 1, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their last 4 weeks, 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks, 15 through 18, they play 4 playoff teams from last year. So we could be on the verge of another collapse like a year ago.
At number 1, I have Jared Goff. Similar to the Patriots, he has to play the Rams in week 7, and his career is just done after that. He's going to lose his starting job a couple weeks after that, and it just doesn't look great for them. So that wraps up the TikTok, and then I also have this.
I just wanted to listen to the TikTok, so I just want to be in the background. I'm waiting for my dad.
So Jared Goff has the hardest schedule in the NFL. We just figured out.
Jared Goff, and he plays for the Detroit Lions. Okay.
Yeah,
and
has to play the Rams.
Mine was the Steelers.
Ooh, who do they open up with?
The Bills at Buffalo.
Oh, they're gonna get smacked.
And they finish with 4 different playoff teams.
Okay, well, have fun with that. You know what? They don't care about that. They're 24 years old. The thing that bothers me, too, about the NFL schedule, and this is something I just saw, and I'm going to be serious for a moment because it's so annoying. So Dallas plays the Eagles week 3 and then week 18. But then, week 15 and then, 17, they play Washington. 2 times within 3 weeks. I don't understand the mentality.
When Aidan was giving his prediction, he was giving his prediction for the Eagles schedule. He says they won't put 3 divisional games at home to end the season, and then they did.
And then they did. I was like, "There's no way. That doesn't make sense."
No,
it
really
made sense in their brains.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, my brain's gonna go too. Love you both. Had a lot of fun.
See ya.
I
think our brains are going to go too.
Yeah.
Goodbye again. All right. On that
note, I think all of our brains are going. Thank you to everyone who followed along on this journey that almost killed one of us. It might kill all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Thank you to Stateside Vodka for sponsoring as always. Great plug by him. That's why we need Kevin, because at first I didn't say Stateside Vodka on the YouTube live show. And he immediately brought them up within 5 minutes of being on after a traumatic experience. So thank you to them. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Vince had tweets popping off before we got on here. Just casual, editing the podcast and also going viral. So at Birds First Voice Pod. Thank you again. And we'll be back for the NFL official offseason.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes. Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach. That is
the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.